It was our Christmas party.
Yeah.
We had a belated Christmas party this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a staff one.
Yeah.
It was just between us, the people who work for us.
Yeah, and everyone who helped out at the Loogies and everyone who's helped Luke and Lewis throughout the year. So how many? Was it like 8 people?
12.
12 people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now Ruben, I was going to be under the impression that you weren't drinking. Turns out, because you don't drink. I was under the impression that you just don't drink because you're a responsible boy.
Every time we've been out with Ruben, he just doesn't drink. So we just assumed that he was sober, like me.
Yeah.
Which is totally normal for our show. I've never drunk, so we're like, oh yeah, another sober guy, who cares?
And you also really downplayed the fact that you're like, oh, I have drunk before. Are you still eating them?
They're spicy.
Stop eating them.
They're good.
But
They're weird. The spice comes out of nowhere.
But kill it. Tell your face. you see they're going this. You're like, they're good.
I don't think you like them, dude.
I do.
Every time you say I do, you say it with more self-doubt.
I'll leave them for later.
I think you like the idea of them.
I think he likes the idea of food.
So Ruben has always downplayed like the idea of him drinking because he goes, oh, even if I do drink, it's only like once a year and I've like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. In my head, you just weren't going to drink. Turns out the only thing in between Ruben and being a raging drunk is just paying for the alcohol.
Yeah,
as soon as it was offered to him for free, he was like, oh, well, it'd be rude not to.
We had a tab, thanks to all the Lukey supporters, the Patreon supporters.
that.
We had a nice party.
Yep.
Right? But yeah, it's not that Ruben doesn't drink. Ruben doesn't pay.
Yeah. So it turns out he's Jesus, I'm glad you're a cheapskate because you would be worse than me.
Because he doesn't pay, that means he doesn't drink, which means he's a lightweight.
Oh, the featherweight.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
haven't been. It's been over a year since I've been drunk.
So he gets through.
And you're like what, like 4'9"?
I'm 4'6".
4'6". 4'6", right?
Dude.
So
I
he
remember.
had 3.
Oh, man,
he had 2 ciders. And
I remember
he was
my
stumping.
first cider, and oh my god, it threw me back. So you had 1 cider, then you're halfway through the second cider,
Yeah.
and then he comes up to me and goes, "Oh man, I'm feeling buzzed."
Yeah. He has his 3rd cider, which for anyone else would be a walk in a park.
Yeah.
But the 3rd cider literally
tipped him
made
over the edge.
made him go for a walk in a park. He just started walking everywhere. Walking
he
up
had-
to other groups of people, which you shouldn't do because they're trying to keep it COVID safe. Ruben starts walking up to strangers.
He had 3 drinks, and he goes, "Man, I'm gonna go walk it off," and then just starts doing laps of the bowling alley that we were in.
We went to Strike, which has alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time, but I think when I drink, it really kicks my ADD into gear.
Yeah, you were everywhere.
And I need to do something. I need to walk. I need to fidget with something.
And
Can we
noticed
chuck
that.
in the footage?
Oh yeah, I was going to say we noticed that and we immediately took advantage of Ruben because people go, oh, some people are like, oh, how can you even have fun when you're sober? When everyone else has had not too much, but is like almost at too much. If you're sober, you can really whip up a storm and you can fucking really turn a fun night into chaos. And that's what I really like is when everyone's had 3, 4, 5 and I can go, hey, and then everyone starts going, hey, and then you turn the whole group into those guys at the bar.
Yeah.
That's what I really enjoy going
And
out.
this is what I said to my girlfriend Meg before we left. I said, this night's going to play out a couple of ways. I was like, situation 1, we're going to get kicked out of several bars.
Yeah.
And I go,
almost
guess whose
happened.
fault it will be? And straight away she goes, Radio Mike. And I go, no. It will be Lewis encouraging Keelan and Radio Mike.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Radio Mike was actually a very responsible boy and only had a couple.
Ruben, I noticed that
That was the spanner in the works for me. I did not predict that at all. I
did
thought you
almost
would
get
have.
us kicked out because of Ruben.
Well, this happened as soon as after we almost got kicked out. We then told Ruben to do something simple as we're going down an escalator, and we're like, Ruben, why don't you go down the other one?
No, that's not how it happened. He said, we're going down the down escalator, and then he goes, hey, watch this.
It's your idea.
This is going to be crazy. And he was just joking. He goes, what if I went down the down? And I said this, and I go down the down.
And then we'll chuck in the clip.
This is not at a bar. This is at a shopping centre, by the way.
Wow, you did do that.
You did.
12 people, and that happened down 3 escalators
Yeah.
of just
Went for the hat trick.
screaming, and it
Yeah.
was so loud because it's in Melbourne Central. It's echoing. Everyone's staring, going, "That's not that crazy."
That's what the good part was. Is like, people. There was a lot of confusion of going like, does this French group actually think that's a crazy thing to do on a night out? But they didn't understand the context of like, you don't know this man. That is wild.
Yeah.
He did something wrong. I've never seen you do anything wrong before.
Yeah. And then he started walking on his hands, doing
Yeah.
fucking wheelbarrow rides.
That was a big cheer. And by the way, some other friendship groups started cheering you on.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is always good when you see a group that you're not affiliated in to rev them up, get them kicked out, and then you take their table. Then we get to the bar.
Dude, Keelan, all I have written down in my notes, the night's a little hazy. It was quite a big night. But all I had written down in my notes was Keelan just asked for money. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And for some reason at the time, I was like, we have to talk about this on the show.
This is also why I like being sober. I used to do a joke about it. It's like I'm a historian.
Yeah.
Like everyone else has forgotten, but I was there.
You're gonna have to jog my memory on this one.
So we go to the second bar after bowling. Everyone's very lit. Before this, Ruben almost gets us kicked out because I was egging him on because there's a big TV that has sports. We're in a sports bar and the UFC's on, and Ruben goes, I don't like the UFC. And I said, why don't you change it then?
Oh yeah, he walked up to the television and you just turn it off.
Yeah, I
First
turned it
he
off
turns
on
it
mine.
off, and I said, no, don't turn it off. Put something on, and then he starts trying to choose channels, and then you start fucking with the settings as well. And then
He's turning up like the contrast, like in a bar.
and that's when the security comes over and is almost like, do I have to kick this cunt out for fucking with the TV? And then I go, come down, sit down.
Did he change it to Fail Army? And we all started cheering when someone fell over?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a 3-hour long TV show of people falling over.
This
and
bar
we
was
started-
literally playing YouTube videos in the
Yeah.
background, like, you know, the channel Fail Army.
Yeah.
It's just like 20-minute compilations of people eating shit on snowboards.
And we were just being fucking menaces by every time someone fell over, we would go, hey! and everyone's looking at
You
us.
guys are so embarrassing to hang out with.
I love being those cunts.
I hate
It's
being
great.
that guy.
That energy, I think I said to you, I'm like, fuck, I wish we went in the city so we could smash stuff.
And you're the only one who shouldn't be doing that.
I am the boss. Yeah. But that is the energy of like house parties when I was 18. If you get to that moment and then all of a sudden some mates on like a neighborhood car on the roof jumping up and down while we all go, crush the roof. But that's bad and you should never do it. But it is fun.
Yeah, so what did Keelan ask for money for?
So we're all sitting down, and one of the guys that we're with has just done very, very well for himself. He's making a lot of money.
I remember that.
And that came up, and then Keelan just goes, "Can I have $100?" And he goes, "Yeah, all right."
And he took the money.
Yeah, and then we all thought we were joking. We all laughed, and then Keelan just has this moment. I see it in his face of like, this could be a joke, or it could be reality, and then he just pockets it.
Did you keep the money?
I spent it. Yeah.
Did you spend it later on in the night?
Yeah.
On
Now, this is something that we'll talk a little bit about, but we are going to do a Patreon episode after this.
we'll put it this way.
We'll put it in the safe.
Yeah. We're going to elaborate more on the Christmas party on the Patreon only episode.
Strippers may have been involved.
Yeah, and obviously that's where that money was spent by Keelan. And we had a great time.
Yeah.
You left.
I left.
You left before midnight.
Well, because Jasmine
That
left.
was rude. There's a video
Yeah.
you posted on your Instagram of we all sang happy birthday to you. And then literally during the hip hip hoorays, he starts walking out.
That's the most alpha energy shit ever.
That's pretty disrespectful.
Because I also got you to sing happy birthday, I think, as loud as possible, and then left.
Why do you think we're so unenthused today? A, it was our second rendition. And B, you didn't even appreciate the first one because you left during
You're
it.
lucky I didn't leave at the start of the episode after the song. That's all I wanted from this. But yeah, I did not make it to the strippers. So I suppose you guys can tell, it sounds like I missed out. But I wasn't there I didn't want to go without Jazz because she left it early. So I was like, and you were all there with
I was
girlfriends.
also not there.
Yeah, see, I didn't want Ruben to miss out.
Ruben wouldn't have got let in. Like if he had have kept going.
I did think that. I was like, my parting thought was like, oh, I'm missing on the strippers, but I'm also, if Ruben's with them, they're not getting in. So that was my thoughts. But I guess, tell me one thing, because you're not with those people, but there are a few things that needs to be locked in the vault of the secret episode.
The one thing, and I always I've only been to strippers a couple of times.
Because you were there it was you, Meg, Keelan's girlfriend Phoebe, Whitey, Devlin, TikTok guy.
Jackson.
And Jackson.
Devlin had a grand old time.
Yeah.
He's
Have we been clear to talk about this, Keelan?
Yeah. Put it this way, his pockets are a little bit lighter. He spent, now, I don't know, I don't want to give away.
Didn't we pay him
Here's
for
the
like 3 months of TikToks before the party?
Here's the thing. He spent, all I'm going to say is 7 weeks of work of what we pay him in about 2 hours.
What a legend. That's awesome.
And afterwards, he was like, oh, man, he's like, he looked at his wallet and he goes, I reckon that was pretty good considering I know me. Like, he was like, could have been worse. And I was like, mate, I didn't see you all night. He was in a private room for 2 hours. I was like, I don't know what you were paying for in there, but he was just gone.
It was expensive.
And then he was still in there, remember? Oh, you'd left, but we all left. And we were like,
you left him in there.
Dude, I called him. He's mid-lap.
Answering the phone. Hello?
And he's like, mate, I'll be out in a tick. Sorry, I'll be out soon. And I was just like, and then after he's like, oh, sorry, mate, I couldn't chat. And then he told me why. And I was like, I can't believe you know how disrespectful that is to pick up the phone.
I would have put it on speaker. I'm just here with Crystal.